to date, 44 miners have died. The number we last had was, I believe, 34. So 10 have died since then, and that's really, really shameful. So we just want to get the energy going, right, and get some chants going, all right? So tune up those voices, because we need for them to hear you all the way across the Atlantic, all right? All right, so first one is power to the people.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Power to the Marikana mine workers.
Power to the mine workers.
Power to workers.
Power to workers.
Workers justice.
Workers justice.
Workers justice.
Workers justice.
All right. Okay, I can hear those voice boxes of yours tuning up already. Okay, it's really hot, so please make sure you got some water. There aren't too many shady places, but if you feel yourself getting too warm, please go sit in the shade. There's some benches there. There's a big bottle of water right here, so please help yourself. We want to say thank you to all the media who are here. And we've got a wonderful lineup of speakers for you this afternoon. So, aluta continua! Power to the people!
Power to the people.
Amanda! 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 Power to the people!
Power to the people.
No to bloody platinum! Yes to workers' freedom!
Yes to workers' freedom.
No to bloody platinum!
No to bloody platinum.
Shame on Lord Min Mines!
Shame on London mines.
Shame on Lord Min Mines!
Shame on London mines.
Do you know that they ordered the workers back to work immediately? They don't care about the injured, they don't care much about the dead, and they have threatened. Everybody has been warned that if they don't return to work immediately, they will be fired. Shame on London! Shame on London! Down with platinum! Bloody, bloody platinum! No to bloody platinum! No to bloody platinum! Yes to workers' freedom!
Yes to workers' freedom.
Down with capitalism!
Down with capitalism!
Down with capitalism!
Down with capitalism.
Down with capitalism!
2466!
2466! Smash the neo-apartheid state!
Smash the neo-apartheid state.
2468!
2468.
Smash the neo-apartheid state! Power to the people! Come on, I want you to greet everybody here. Walk around, get to know each other and say, power to the people!
Power to the people.
Power to the people!
Power to the people.
Salute each other! Power to the people!
Power to the people!
Power to the people! Workers unite!
Workers unite!
We gotta chant down capitalism! Chant down capitalism! Amanda! Go to! Amanda! Go to! Amanda! Go to! Amanda! Go to! All right, beautiful, beautiful. Woo, 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 woo! All right, so I'm gonna just quickly introduce myself. My name is Yolisa Dalamba. I hail from Azania, but I'm a global citizen of the world and a Pan-Africanist. And I'm here sharing the stage today with my brother Iliam. And so we are going to be hosting you this afternoon. And we've got, as I said before, a great lineup of speakers. So without further ado, Brother Iliam.
Thank you to Yolisa for getting us a bit hyped up. Again, I also, on behalf of Yolisa, myself, and the other organizers, we want to welcome you for being here. On behalf, I'll mention some of the organizations. It's a long list of organizations that are endorsing and supporting this solidarity action, but I'll name just some of them. the Network for Pan-African Solidarity. Let's give it up for the Network for Pan-African Solidarity. We also have the Ontario Federation of Labour, and we're waiting for President Sid Ryan to be here soon to give a message of solidarity. There's also Nancy Hutchinson, Secretary Treasurer of OFL. We're happy that the OFL is here with us today. We have support from QP Ontario, myself and Jamu and Farid and many other people that helped, and Daveson and many other people that helped organize this rally. We're all members of QP Ontario, know that it's important for our labor movement to struggle not only locally but internationally, and this is a concrete example of that. Also, I want to thank the Somali Canadian Diaspora Alliance, the International Alliance in Support of Workers in Iran, the Group for Research and Initiatives for the Liberation of Africa, GRILA, the Council in Support of People's Struggles in Iran, Latin American Trade Unions Coalition Ontario, Latin American Caribbean Solidarity Network, Labor for Palestine, Asian Canadian Labor Alliance, and many other organizations that have made this very important solidarity action possible. And before we get into the hearing solidarity messages, we first wanted to, and this is obviously, there's videotaping going on, there's photography. It's going to be sent to South Africa by many of us. So we're speaking here in front of the Consulate General of South Africa, but everything that's said here today and all the solidarity messages, we are speaking to people in South Africa, particularly the mine workers and their families who suffered so greatly recently with this atrocity and this massacre. So first of all, we'd like to express our heartfelt condolences to the families of the mine workers, their friends, and their comrades. More than 34 workers, and I think more than 40 people that in total were killed in the massacre for this loss. But more than a loss, we know that these workers gave up their lives, sacrificing themselves in the struggle for improving the workers' conditions, for combating exploitation, particularly in the South African mining industry, and fighting the exploitation of transnational corporations, in this case the UK Lomond mine, which is the one that owns the platinum mine in South Africa where the massacre took place. So we just ask people to just reflect on that. We're going to have a moment of silence. Part of the reason we're wearing the black armbands, and we have more here if you want to wear them, is just a symbol of mourning, but it's also a symbol of defiance and resistance, because we're here not only to mourn the loss of our fellow brothers and sisters, but we're here to commemorate the fact that trade unionists in South Africa, mine workers, are struggling against capitalism, against neoliberalism, and for improving the lives of themselves, their families, and their communities. From some of our speakers, but before we do that, Amandla, which means it's freedom or justice. What do you Amandla, power to the people. And we want to call up our first speaker, one of the organizers of the rally, and it's Jamu Nangwaya. He's with the Network for Pan-African Solidarity, just to give some opening remarks. Let's give it up for Jamu.
Good afternoon, sisters and brothers. Good afternoon, comrades. Okay, we're here to express solidarity with the working class in South Africa. Whenever we see an attack against one group of workers, we will always take it as an attack on the class worldwide. And it's for that reason why we're out here today expressing our solidarity, expressing our outrage, and expressing our commitment, not just to show up here today, but to find a way to maintain solidarity with the working class in that country. We're all, those of us who have been around since the 70s and the 80s in Toronto and who participated in the anti-apartheid movement, are revolted by the images that we saw on the television, by the killing of these workers. Many of the African workers, African majority, thought that with the advent of majority rule, it would have meant a different type of relationship between workers and between the state in South Africa. Today, through the actions that we have seen since 1994 to today, it's very clear that what we're seeing is a neo-apartheid state that still maintains capitalist economic relations and are willing to use force to maintain the economic and the political and social status quo in South Africa. And for that, we as international solidarity activists, as people of good conscience, will say no to that type of relationship, and we will continue to express solidarity. People may ask us, we are here in Toronto, why are we so concerned with what's going on in South Africa? One thing is very clear, that we experience neoliberal capitalism here. We experience what it is to have, the exploitation of our labor. We know what it is for the state to cut back on social programs. Those things are going on in South Africa today, and for that reason, we will continue to express solidarity and will continue to denounce what is going on there while fighting here. When we express solidarity with the people in South Africa, it's not a question of charity, it's a question of worker-to-worker solidarity, people-to-people solidarity, fighting common systems of oppression. In this country, we experience white supremacist oppression. In South Africa, the working class, they experience similarly. They experience capitalist exploitation. We experience the same thing here in Canada. So we have no other response or option but to support the struggling people there, and we'll continue to support them and say, down with capitalism, down with white supremacy, and down with all forms of exploitation. Sisters and brothers, I'm glad to see you out here today, and we will continue this struggle beyond today. Thank you.
No justice. Workers united will never be. Workers united will never be. Mine workers united will never be. Mine workers united will never be. Our next speaker is Daverson Haran. He's a member of QP Ontario's International Solidarity Committee, and I want to recognize my brother Daverson and also Farid, because when the massacre happened, they were the ones that said to us in QP, as QP members, we need to take action. We need to denounce this massacre. We need to organize a rally. We can't remain silent. So let's give it up for Daverson. Haram.
Thank you, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends. Amanda! Amanda! Yabonga, thank you. Thank you. I would like, on behalf of the QP Ontario International Solidarity, thank you for all the activists we have given their time to come here in solidarity to the barbaric massacre of the mine workers in South Africa. We condemn this, and we demand that justice be done. We demand, furthermore, the release of other mine workers who are being tortured, who are behind bars right now as we talk. They couldn't even go and bury their fellow workers. Share. We demand a strong condemn to the Prime Minister of Britain, David Cameron, Stephen Harper, Barack Obama. It's not only happening in South Africa, just global. Every time we read of mine workers, every time we read of the oppression, when the workers are trying to express their own feelings, their own hearing, but they're being suppressed, we will never be intimidated. Together forever. Amanda! Amanda! I thank you all, comrades, for this courageous coming here. And on behalf of QP International Solidarity, I would like to thank you again. Let's have this thing, let's have the gathering, let's have the solidarity. Anyway, whenever it happens, not only South Africa, Zimbabwe, DRC, Colombia, everything's happening. Let's rally behind our workers. Where there's no worker, there's no life. Amanda! Thank you, comrades and friends. Thank you.